Today, I am going to explain the movie Wonder, released in the year 2017. The movie revolves around a 10-year-old boy named August Pullman. Augie is a precocious little boy who lives in Brooklyn with his parents Isabel and Nate and his older sister Olivia. The Pullman family also has a dog named Daisy. Augie was born with a rare medical facial deformity known as Treacher-Collins syndrome. So far, he has undergone 27 surgeries in order to see, smell, speak, and hear. Little Augie loves Minecraft, science, and dressing up for Halloween. He also loves lightsaber fights with his dad and watching Star Wars movies with him. Up until this point, Augie's parents have homeschooled him, but they now have decided to enroll him in the 5th grade at a middle school in Beecher Prep. Before starting classes, Augie is introduced to his principal, Tushman. Tushman is a kind man, and he arranges a tour for him with 3 other students, Jack, Julian, and Charlotte, to make him feel more comfortable at the school. During the tour, Julian asks Augie rude questions, and Jack comes to his defense. At dinner, Augie tells his father about Julian, and Nate advises his son to always fight back. The next day, the whole Pullman family accompanies Augie to school for his first day. Nate gives a man-to-man talk to his son before sending him off. Augie naturally receives stares and jests from his classmates, but he courageously braves through it. Julian also continues to make fun of Augie's condition. However, Augie finds support through his teacher, Mr. Brown, who encourages him to participate in class. With Augie in school, Isabel finally begins to continue her master's dissertation that she discontinued after Augie was born. At dinner, Nate and Isabel force Augie to open up about his first day at school, which irritates him, and he storms out. Isabel follows him to his room, and he breaks into tears, saying why'd he have to be so ugly. Isabel comforts him and tells him that what matters is our heart, for it's permanent, while our beauty is transient. Nate also joins Isabel, and the two manage to cheer the boy up. However, in all this, Olivia begins to feel neglected. She feels that Augie is the sun, while she and her parents are the planets that are orbiting around it. Via, nevertheless, loves her brother, and she loves how this universe works. Growing up, Via never asked her parents for help with homework, and she did most of her studying in waiting rooms and hospitals. She knows that her family loves her, but ever since her grandma died, Via feels that her best friend Miranda is the only person that knows her. However, Miranda also begins to avoid Via after returning from the summer camp. Miranda has colored her hair pink and made new friends at school. Fortunately, Via meets a boy named Justin, who's a theater kid. Justin encourages her to sign up for the school drama. After initially hesitating, Via agrees and signs up for the play. At the rehearsals, Miranda is surprised to see Via, who tells her that she's just trying something different. Meanwhile, Augie begins to form a friendship with Jack after he helps the latter in a surprise test. Augie invites Jack over to his home, offering to help him with science. However, they end up sword fighting all evening. Slowly, Jack becomes a regular at the Pullman's house. On the other hand, Via gets close to Justin, but she lies to him about being an only child. One day, Via arrives home late when Isabel asks her where she was. Via reveals that she went to Coney Island, where her grandmother used to take her as a child. Isabel realizes that Via feels neglected, and she decides to spend quality time with her on the Halloween weekend. Meanwhile, Augie decides to dress as Ghostface for Halloween. It's his favorite holiday because when he's wearing a costume, he's able to walk through the school feeling optimistic since the getup allows him some anonymity. However, upon entering his classroom, he sees Jack speaking to his friends Julian, Amos, Miles, and Henry. Unrecognized because of his costume, Augie is dismayed to hear them making fun of him behind his back. Among other remarks, Jack's comment about how he would end his life if he looked like him hurts Augie the most. Augie falls sick, and Mr. Tushman immediately contacts Isabel, who has to leave the mother-daughter day with Via to pick him up. Isabel brings him back home, and he refuses to go trick-or-treating. Via is hurt after being ditched again, but she goes over to cheer Augie up. She tells him about Miranda, who has started avoiding her after she returned back from summer camp. Augie is surprised to learn that even a normal kid has bad days at school, and he finally agrees to go trick-or-treating with her. That day onwards, Augie begins avoiding Jack like the plague. Jack tries to ask him the reason, but Augie refuses to speak to him. Seeing Augie eating lunch by himself again, a little girl named Summer decides to give him company. Augie is suspicious of Summer's intentions, but she assures him that she just wants to sit with him because she wants nice friends for a change. Summer then asks him about Jack, and Augie confides in her about Jack's betrayal. Meanwhile, Justin and Miranda get selected in the lead roles for her school's production of Our Town, while Via only gets selected to be Miranda's understudy. Via also starts dating Justin and comes clean to him about her brother. She then takes him home to meet her mother and brother. Justin treats Augie with kindness and tells Via that he understands her hesitation to tell him about her brother. After seeing Via get on with her life without her, Miranda begins to regret distancing herself from her. She calls Augie and asks him to tell Via that she misses her. It is revealed that Miranda and Via have been friends since kindergarten. Via's friendship helped Miranda cope with her parents' separation. Miranda signed up for the summer camp to keep herself entertained because her father is always busy with his new wife, while her mother is busy getting over the divorce. At the summer camp, Miranda adopted Via's fun and cool personality, which made her very popular at the camp. However, when Miranda returned from the camp, she felt ashamed and started avoiding Via. Over the holidays, Augie becomes really close to Summer. Jack also tries to talk to Augie several times, but the latter refuses to entertain him. So, Jack turns to Summer and she tells him that Augie showed up as Ghostface on Halloween and heard Jack talking crap about him with his friends. Realizing what he's done, Jack resolves to make it up to Augie and agrees to be partnered with him instead of Julian for the science fair. Julian gets upset and confronts Jack in the hall, calling Augie a freak. Offended, Jack hits Julian in the face and a fight follows. The teachers break them up and Jack is suspended for 2 days. Jack is also made to give an apology letter to Principal Tushman, in which he doesn't give a reason for the fight. However, the principal responds saying that he thinks he understands why he fought Julian and encourages Jack to keep being the good kid he knows he is. Jack then sends an apology to Augie via Minecraft and they reconcile. Via keeps the news of the play from her parents, but they eventually find out. An argument follows over Via not inviting her parents to her play. Via tells them that she didn't invite them because they never have time for her. Throughout her life, Isabel and Nate have always centered around Augie. After a long, heartfelt conversation, Via reconciles with her parents and the family decide to support Via's play. On the opening night, upon learning that Via's family is in attendance, Miranda feigns illness so Via could fill in for her role and perform in front of her family. Via delivers a moving performance and earns a standing ovation. After the play, Via invites Miranda over for dinner and the two friends reconcile. Meanwhile, Augie and Jack make a camera obscura for their science project. The judges and the other students love the device and the duo win the first prize. As a result, Augie's popularity and circle of friends grows throughout the year. However, Julian and his friends continue to bully him out of spite. One day, Mr. Brown finds Augie holding a photograph that had been stuck to his locker. The photograph says, "Do everyone a favor and die," and Augie has been photoshopped out of the picture. Mr. Brown presses information out of Amos and complains to Mr. Tushman about Julian's behavior. Julian's parents are summoned to the school by the principal, who tells them about the picture and the school's zero-tolerance policy on bullying. Lo and behold, Julian's mother reveals that the picture is from her home, and she photoshopped Augie out of the picture because she wants her guests to focus on her son rather than Augie. She further states that her son's normal good behavior and their financial donations to the school should supersede any suspension. However, Principal Tushman is persistent and refuses to abide by bribery or threats. Julian really regrets his behavior, and he apologizes to Mr. Tushman before leaving with his parents. Mr. Tushman accepts Julian's apology, but he cannot prevent the boy's parents from deciding to place him in another school. Soon, the Pullmans send Augie off on a class trip to a nature retreat. At home, Isabel and Nate finally have some time to themselves. Using this time, Isabel finishes her thesis and Nate surprises her with a gift. At the retreat, a group of 7th grader bullies antagonize Augie and Jack. Things get heated as Jack and Augie attempt to fight back. The bullies overpower the duo, but soon Amos, Miles, and Henry appear and defend them. After beating up the 7th graders, Augie and his group retreat to the edge of a lake. Amos and the others high-five Augie, and they become emotional at the kindness he is receiving, especially by former bullies. When Augie returns home, he returns stronger and happier. In no time, that year's graduation arrives, and Augie is felicitated with the Henry Ward Beecher Medal for his strength and courage throughout the school year. During his speech, Augie thanks his mother for enrolling him in school. She tells him, "You really are a wonder, Augie." The movie ends with everyone cheering Augie as he delivers a voiceover narration quoting the last precept Mr. Brown gave in class. "Be kind, for everyone is fighting a hard battle. And if you really want to see what people are, all you have to do is look."